How's it going, folks? Well, finally made it up here. It's 10:20. Been running around like a chicken with my head cut off all morning long. I had made a video last week about farming out of a Honda Civic, and I didn't get it posted because I got busy doing other things last week. And the whole reason that I was farming out of the Civic is I sold my diesel that I had, my burgundy truck that you've seen a couple of times in some videos. That truck was a manual shift, and my wife couldn't drive it. It was getting to the point where I was just over it. I'd been in it for almost 9 years, and I was tired of changing gears. So decided it was time to make a switch to an automatic, and I decided to switch to a gas truck. And so I still got a 3/4 ton, still got to haul trailers and hay and tractors and cattle, whatever else. But I did switch to a gas, and I'm sure some people are thinking, what in the world are you thinking? That was the dumbest thing you could have ever done. But I think, there might be 3 loads that I might haul a year, maybe 4. We'll say less than 6. How about that? Less than 6 loads a year where I think this is probably too heavy for me to even be pulling, and I need a diesel. All the other stuff that I'm pulling, a gas truck is going to do everything I need to do. Now those times that come up where I think, dang, I wish I had a diesel, I might be kicking myself in the butt. We'll see. But I'm excited about it. But I'll show it off to you here a little bit. So it's not new, but it is new to me. But it does have the new 6.6 gas engine in it. I had looked around at quite a few of them, and all the ones that I was finding were all like company trucks, fleet vehicles, and they were just beat up and awful. But this one here was actually somebody's truck, and they had taken decent care of it. It's got low miles, so we'll give it a shot. And, the next truck, who knows what it'll be. It's going to be a long time from now, I can tell you that. But whenever the next truck gets here, who knows? Might be another gas, might be another diesel, who knows? But for right now, I am super excited. It is just so smooth and quiet, and not having to change gears. Whew, it's awesome. And on top of that, I just went and filled it up. That was nice too, to not have to buy diesel fuel. So, I'm going to put up a couple videos about this truck here in the next couple weeks. I've got a gooseneck hitch I've got to put in it next week sometime. A few little odds and ends kind of things that I'm going to try and get done. It's got vinyl floors and vinyl seats. It's just a basic work truck package. But I'm going to still get some seat covers just because I had some seat covers in the old truck that were they were headwaters seat covers, and if you're in the market for some, those were amazing. They didn't advertise as being 100% waterproof, but like I said, I had that truck for almost 9 years, and I was not easy on the seats. I had spilt all sorts of stuff in the seats. I got in there greasy, I got in there wet, got in there muddy, and the seats looked brand new. 100% brand new. That's no lie. Nothing ever went through the covers. So I don't need to worry about stains with these seats, but I do worry about like cracking, and on top of that, the vinyl's hot too. But anyways, we have got one last little tiny section of hay on the ground, and I'm going to get that baled up today. Our rake broke the last time we were baling. We broke the rake, and so it's up at a neighbor's house getting welded on. and it's not quite done yet. So I'm gonna borrow his rake. So I've got to put some diesel fuel in this tractor, run up the road to his house, borrow his rake, and the field that I'm going to is probably it takes the longest to get to. It's not that far away, it's just, there's no good way to get there. It takes forever. But, oh, Hornet, get out of here. So, it's gonna be a lot of traveling today, of going up the road to get the rake, traveling on the other side of the farm to get to that field to rake it, then bring the rake back over here and take it to his house, then get the other tractor with the baler and go down there, and then blah, 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 blah. It's gonna be a long day. Right now it's gorgeous, but they have changed the weather for today, and they're saying there's a chance of rain later on in the afternoon. So we have got to book it. One last thing before we get started here. I wanted to bring up that radio video. What in the world? I was getting like 100 people maybe watch some of these videos, which I thought was pretty cool. And then like 2.6 thousand have watched that other one, and it has blown my mind. And since making that video, I've had a couple people reach out to me about making a video for them, you know, highlighting some special features on some different radios. And so in the next week or two, you might see some videos about radios. If that's not your thing, because it's not farming, cool deal. You don't have to watch it. I get it. But you know, farming, for a lot of people, they need radios. So even though it's not really farming, it is relevant to a degree. But anyways, here we go. We'll go ahead and get started. Well, it was about a 45-minute ordeal of driving around to get that rake. Lord. So, on top of that, once I got about as far away from the house here as possible, got a text message and a call that I needed to come back to the DMV's office to go sign some more papers that I messed up before. So I am not kicking hay, or excuse me, not gonna rake right yet. I got the rake here to the house. Josh will be here in about 2 hours or so. So I'm gonna check to see if we've got plenty of baling twine and head back to town, go sign the paper, and then come back. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got a bunch of partial rolls. That'll work. No more than we've got to do today. It won't make but 9 bales or something. It's just a tiny little bit, but it does help. All right, everybody's just laying around out here under the shade and fat and happy and relatively fly free. I got to them yesterday and got them sprayed, so I'm not going to film anything about going to town. That's no fun. So I'm going to run to town, pick up some mineral, then come back. Then we'll get started again. All right. Well, it is now much later than it was previously whenever I was filming. So it is now 1:12, and I'm just now getting here to get the tractor hooked up to the baler. So, long ordeal to get things squared away in town. But it's fixed now. So, I'm going to pull this out here in the shade. We've got a little room to work and get everything greased. I'm just going to wait on Josh to head on up there. There's no real rush. It's not going to take long once we get going. Honestly, getting up there is one of the longest parts. It's awful. But anyways, got tag on the truck now. Everything's legal. everything would have been fine had I not messed up, but I messed up because I forgot to do something this morning and then had to go back and sign this and then had to call these people and wait till they said something. It was just a mess, an absolute mess. But it's over now. Everything's good. So, a few other things that have got to be done today. And Maddie is out of town for the next couple of days for a conference. So, I don't have anything pressing at home to rush back to town for this afternoon. So, I'm going to stay up here just a little later today. Once we bring all the hay up, there's a few more places on the tarp over there that I need to cinch down and get tight so we don't get any water in there and the wind doesn't get underneath the tarp and rip it off. Gotta get that taken care of. I still don't have all of my tools put into my toolbox either. I had got the toolbox put on yesterday and got it cleaned out. I had a whole quart of oil that busted in the bottom of it, and it was just disgusting. So I got it cleaned out last night, ready for my stuff to go back in it. So I got to do that this afternoon. Something else that I had on the list to get done today. I don't remember exactly what it was right now. But we'll get out the old grease gun and Josh has got that everything raked. I've made one or two rounds trying something new. You might be shaking, who knows. I've got you stuck in the visor of the tractor, like the sun visor that flips down, but it seems to work pretty good. So I had to stop and help him for just a second, and we are good to carry on. I'm getting some gear here, PTO on. Grab the old girl all the way up. And we're off. So if some of you all might be local to the area, you can see out the back, I don't know if you can see where I'm at or not, but just right across the river here is Riverview Community Center. And so my grandmother was a teacher there, and my Aunt Eloise worked there, and my dad went to school there. A whole bunch of their family had something to do with that place, and now it's just it's a community center that they do all sorts of stuff to help the community. One of my favorite things they do, this is probably not the best thing to say, but the best thing, or my favorite thing is they do a fish fry. I forget how many Fridays a month they do it, but gosh, it's good. I swear it's better fish than you get at the beach. And it's just good folks working in there that you know, and everybody's doing it for the right reason. It's just a real good thing. But they do a whole lot of other outreach things to help out here in the community. now, whenever we get back up this way, you might see they're over there working with track hose and some skid steers and stuff. They are getting ready to add a canoe launch place for people to get in and out of the river. So that'll be cool to have. That means they'll be coming right by the house whenever people do come canoeing, which is perfectly fine. I like seeing people. Just hope that means that people aren't going to start throwing trash out all over the place. But most of the folks up this direction are good people that take care of stuff. You don't have to worry about things like that, but there's always one. Right. There we go. Get ready to tie us one here. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So this rake that we're borrowing from our neighbor, it makes the windrows so much bigger. But with them being bigger, I swear it's making the hay roll better, and I'm sure that that's an actual thing, and I just didn't know it. But the last 2 fields that I've rolled, I've had to use his rake, and both times it's just the hay has looked great. The rows are so big though, the tractor has a real hard time going over it. Like right now, I'm probably about to clog up the baler. No, I didn't clog it. But Lord, I was close. The tires on the tractor's a pretty good size tractor. I mean, it's a 70 horse, 65 horse, something like that. And the old farm tractor that we've used to bale with forever is the same exact size, I believe, maybe a little bit bigger. But the thing is the tires are just a fuzz taller on the old farm tractor and on David's tractor when he bales with this. And they're able to clear the windrow just a little bit better. And it's not much. I mean, it might be an inch difference. But it is enough to notice that it is an issue at times. But this is just about to be wrapped up. Right up here on the hill, there's a little tiny section. It's honestly more trouble than it's worth, but I've only got 3 rows left right here, and they're short. And then I get up there to that, and that'll be done in just a few minutes. I think I've only been baling maybe an hour or something. Literally, some people probably take longer to mow their yard than it took me to bale this place, but any hay is a good thing. I'll take as much as we can get. You know it. So Josh and I are going to bring 2 different tractors up here in just a few minutes and empty out the hay that's in this little barn up here. It's super dry because it's from last year. So we're going to take it home and put all this hay in that barn. Just as it's not green, but there could still be some wet pieces in it. Just to be safe, we're not going to put it in the barn back at the house. Put it in this little shed down here to keep it dry. It does look like it's going to start raining at any time. Well, maybe not. It's kind of blown by now. There for a minute, it was looking kind of scary. so you've got kind of a heads up of what to look for in the next video or two. Getting up here to this field is it's like a mud bog. It's awful. And so I try to keep the tractors as clean as we can. But right now, they are disgusting. So Maddie and I are going to take us a trip for our anniversary. We're leaving in about 3 days or so. And whenever I get back, I'm going to be bringing the pressure washer up and work on cleaning all the equipment up and that kind of thing. That was always one of my dad's most favorite things to do. If you're somebody that knew my dad, you know he liked to keep equipment shiny. His truck, he didn't care about his truck. He would fill it full of junk, and the bed would be completely filled with tools, and he didn't care about it. But now his tractor, he wanted that thing spotless all the time. And I will admit, I have done a pretty poor job of keeping it clean since he's passed. But hopefully, I can get caught up on that this coming week. I'm going to try and buff out the hoods on all the tractors. Some of them have gotten pretty faded. So I'm going to try and get those waxed and buffed. That'll help them out a lot. All right, well, I'm going to knock out this tiny little section here, and I will catch you all back whenever we are out here moving hay around. So, we'll see you in a few. Great. That's good stuff there. I have to come and fix that tomorrow. So it's like my second video that I ever put out, I think. And I was talking about the old tree, that they would paint the old tree white, and it would help people that were in horse and buggy kind of see where they were supposed to go. Sorry, I was about to get stuck in the mud. Well, that right up there, there's a little shelf that you kind of see right at the top of this bank. And once I get out here to the end and look back, you'll be able to see it. But that is old Highway 88 right there. So now Highway 88 is right here. And this was the old Highway 88. And there you can kind of see it right at the top of that little lip right there, kind of above where that tree's falling. So that's pretty cool. If the road was just a little bit wider, we would just use that. But it's such a straight drop off on this side over here. We tend to come down here in this bottom, and we're right beside the river. And the problem with being right beside the river is it stays muddy. Well, finally heading home. Right at 6:45. Maddie's gone, so we've got to go let the dogs out and take care of them. But we got 3 more bales out there than we did last year, which is cool. Got the new hay that was baled today, put in the little barn out there, and the hay from last year that was in there that was drier, we brought it over here to the house. And I'm gonna put it in the barn up here tomorrow. And we're done with hay for a little while. It's a good feeling. But we will catch you next time. Like I had said before, got a few different types of videos that I'm going to be doing. Some on this truck and some radio stuff coming. But I'm going to try and record a couple this week before I leave to go out of town. Try and get a couple done, that way I can post them while I'm gone or something. But either way, we'll catch you next time. Thanks again for watching.